I did my civic duty today. I voted. And honestly, I'm kind of apathetic about voting. Not because I don't have any political opinions, but just because, yeah, I decided to do it because I get tired of the news always being like, voter turnout this year was the lowest in history. What is this world coming to? So, yeah, I did that. You're welcome, Canada. So I decided to do this all about ASMR tag, and I was tagged by Heather Feather. Yeah, right. Nobody tagged me, obviously, but I saw Voice of Sam do it, so I think it's cool that they have one of these. So I'm gonna do it. I mean, I don't make ASMR videos, but I watch them fairly regularly, so why not? First question. How old were you when you first got tingles? I don't know. Like the first time that I'm sure since I was like a child, I didn't really start to notice it until like I was a teenager. And yeah, for me it was always more like Queen Elizabeth employs someone with the same size head as her to attempt fitting for the hat she is famously known for wearing. True or false? I think that's true. Sorry, I got a bonus question for this like true or false game app that I have. Um, so yeah, mine were always usually more like visual triggers. And yeah, it happened. I always just kind of wondered if I was weird or like, does everybody get these same kind of feelings? Apparently, I don't know, maybe it is still weird. Some people still think it's weird, but whatever. Question two, what's the story behind your first ASMR experience? Okay, well, I mean, the only one I can really think of was shortly before I discovered it back in 2012. I was in this one of my classes. There was this girl who would sit across the aisle and kind of like up ahead, and also that was in the field of vision of the professor. So I'd be sitting there in class watching the professor, and so she was right in my field of vision, and she would like, like when girls or well, anyone with long hair when they like play with their hair, and she would take just like a few strands of hair and she would just be like sitting in class listening watching the professor, and she would just be pulling on just like, I mean, it must have been more than one strand, otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to see it, but just a few little strands, and then she would like just pull down, and then she would reach the bottom and she would just kind of hold it there, and I would be like just like watching, my eyes fixed, like waiting for her to go back to the top again. And then it was shortly after that I was in the car with my sister, and I risked sounding completely crazy, and I was like, this camera situation's hard to figure out. And I was like, Olivia, have you ever like, knowing that I was probably sounding crazy, I was like, Olivia, have you ever like felt like had like a good feeling just like from watching something? And she was like, "Oh yeah, ASMR." And I was like, "Huh? What? What's that?" And she found out about it from a friend of ours. Yeah? Yeah, what? From a friend of ours who was taking psychology. And this friend of ours was like, "Oh yeah, there's like videos on YouTube. Some of them are kind of weird, but like, once you get used to it, it's interesting." So yeah, that's how that happened. Question 3. Do you tell people in person you have ASMR? I find it weird to say I have ASMR because I think that experience is a better word than have. That's just a nitpicky thing. I don't care what you say. No, haven't really told anyone other than my sister and that friend of ours that we just talked about. Number 4. What are your 4 favorite triggers? Sam, if you're watching this, well, your one sound that you hate, apparently that gives you anti-ASMR, is actually my top trigger. Yes, I'm talking about scratching. As for my other 3, okay, this is gonna make me sound like a weirdo, but whenever my mom is like washing the floor or washing walls, she does it like the old-fashioned way, like with a rag. She doesn't like use a mop. The sound that makes, I guess it's scrubbing, scrubbing noises, which I've never seen done in a video, at least not intentionally, so I need to change that, or somebody needs to change that. But not like steel wool on a pan, not that kind of scrubbing. I guess that's also technically scrubbing, isn't it? But that's gross. Visual triggers I like. Specifically, like when people trace things with their fingers. Except for some reason it doesn't really work if they're tracing letters like on a word. It works best if they're tracing like a picture or a shape. So what kind of sorcery is happening in the brain that it would make a difference if it's letters in a word or if it's a picture? Like it doesn't make sense. It should be the same, shouldn't it? Sorcery. Okay, that was 3. I guess I need one more. There's one. Number 4. Do some noises give you anti-ASMR? Chewing mouth sounds. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but it doesn't make me cringe, but it's annoying. Question 6. Do you prefer female or male whisperers? I don't really have a preference. I don't choose a favorite based on like your sex organs. Whenever I discover a new male, it's always like more interesting and exciting because there seem to not be as many, you know, if that makes sense. So it's always like, oh, hey, look, here's a male I haven't seen before. He exists. Oh, sorry, going back to question 4, I came up with a 4th favorite. Okay, so the user Deep Ocean of Sounds, he has made me discover that polishing a shoe with a brush. Oh, that video of his gave me tingles like I've never received before. Okay, sorry, I just remembered that. So yeah, I was on question 6 about male or female whisperers. Yeah, it's like I don't really have a preference. I evaluate you more on your content that you create than how you look. 7. Do you notice yourself since discovering ASMR tapping objects without consciously noticing? Maybe a little bit, but not really. No, don't think so. Sorry, my stomach's making noises. The next favorite trigger of everyone. Question 8. Do you prefer soft spoken voice, whispers, or do you have no preference at all? Coughing is my favorite. Spoken voice or whispers? Soft spoken. I find whispers kind of not really annoying, but yeah, I prefer vibrating vocal folds. Question 9. Do you like binaural ASMR videos? Well, aren't most of them already binaural? I mean, like, I probably won't notice a difference unless the title claims that it's like ear to ear something or other, but I don't hear any ear to ear stuff, then I'll be like, okay, I'm pretty sure you're lying about the title of this, but I don't care. 10. What's your favorite type of roleplay video? None. That I can think of. Just kidding. Sorry for the interruption. It's 2 days later and I'm editing this. And I actually do like haircut roleplays sometimes, because I think the first video I ever saw actually was a haircut one, and I was like, oh my god, this is so relaxing. But yeah, I like the sound of the hair being cut, and like when they're washing your hair virtually. Yeah, haircuts, those are like the only one that I really enjoy. 11. Do you like when someone brushes the camera or visually brushes the camera without the brush noise? Yeah, but it gets kind of old after a while. Like, I won't watch a whole video just of that. But like, if they do it, then it's like, ooh. And I get some tingles, but it doesn't last for that long. Oh, sorry, that was question 11. Question 12. Do you like the sound of gum chewing in ASMR videos? No. Don't do that. If you could meet your favorite ASMR artist, what 5 words would you say to them? Who's my favorite? Oh, ASMR Attack. You are really, really funny. That's 5 words for ASMR Attack. Hope you watch this. Not gonna happen. Question 14. Have you ever experienced ASMR immunity? Yes! I'm way more likely to experience ASMR when I'm actually not watching a video, when I'm not trying to induce it. It's like tickling. If you try to tickle yourself, you can't tickle yourself. It's the same with ASMR. It's sad. I'm more likely to experience it in real life, like from my mom watching the floors or washing the walls, than from a video. Too bad. Question 15. Do you get tingles from people in real life? Yeah, I guess I just kind of answered that, yes. 16. How has ASMR helped you? It hasn't really... I don't have any, like, dramatic stories about, like, depression and insomnia and, ooh, it's cured me, or anything exciting like that. Like some people do, and that's great if that's the case. But it hasn't for me, I guess. I mean, like, I just enjoy it. It hasn't really helped me. I guess it's helped me in that it's given me some more channels to subscribe to. I don't know. Yeah, so that's it. Bye.